Come on. Just a few more taps. Nearly there. Oh, yes. Yes! Oh, yes! Hello! You've caught me earning the final trophy in an incredibly difficult video game. It's a brilliant feeling, isn't it? Knowing you've experienced everything the game has to offer. No more boxes to tick, roads to travel, or hills to climb. You've faced every challenge the devs have thrown at you and bested them all, proving you really are the amazing gamer you always knew yourself to be. But then, inevitably, you're having the water cooler chat about how much you enjoyed cresting the peak of Trophy Mountain when you're asked the question,
what are you going to do next?
And that is when you realise the game may be done with you, but you're not done with the game. So what can you do? Well, you make your own fun, of course, devising challenges that make no sense to anyone apart from fellow gamers who loved the world so much they weren't ready to say goodbye. These activities are the embodiment of our silly, intrusive thoughts pushed to their absolute limit. And judging by the comments on a recent community post, we're far from the only people that have these ideas. So, here are 7 ridiculous quests we invented for ourselves after we'd earned all the trophies. The first ridiculous quest on this list is collecting every wheel of cheese in Skyrim. Now, Skyrim is a game I've not been able to put down for nearly 14 years. I've earned the Platinum Trophy, and I completely understand how 100%ing the game wouldn't necessarily stop you wanting to come back. At this point, I've probably spent more time in Skyrim than I have in the real world.
That's impossible.
Okay, that's probably not true. What is true is that people have spent a lot of time finding fromage, which is as good a way to pass the time in Tamriel as anything else, judging from the number of you that are doing it. There's even a mod that adds over 1,000 extra wheels of cheese to be collected in the map to further enhance your Queso collecting experience. Oh, I do love a bit of cheese. And, as is expected for these invented quests, it is absolutely unhinged. Having a pile of dairy so high that you look like something out of Extreme Hoarders Skyrim Edition is something that would be difficult to explain to most non-Skyrim fans, let alone to a non-gamer.
So, you're collecting cheese?
Yes.
But why?
Because I like the smell of cheese, the little holes that you can put your tongue in. Our next entry is a thing I like to do in Metal Gear Solid 2 that's so vague and nonsensical I often struggle to explain the point of it to whatever nonplussed audience I've managed to cajole into listening to me. And today that's you, so set your faces to bemused. In my humble opinion, Sons of Liberty's tanker section is one of the finest 2 hours of video game ever made. A rain-soaked cinematic masterpiece of inventive stealth and stirring action. Hideo Kojima juggling narrative rug pulls and bombastic set pieces in front of your face with the assured confidence of a director at the top of his game. And so the bits I'm in control of, where you essentially have to make Snake move between these wonderful cutscenes, I feel need to be just as perfect. Which is why sometimes I like to play just the tanker level, but play it as though everything's a cutscene, sneaking along walls and darting out of the way of guards at the last minute, as if my thumbs are being controlled by Kojima himself. You know, he's already made this beautiful tapestry. My job is to elegantly stitch it together. So I've got a set routine. I peek around corners to look at guards in the coolest way possible. I walk, never run. Any clumsiness means an instant restart. I like to imagine a cinema full of action movie lovers watching and enjoying my every movement. This guy in the river. This guy just gets snuck past. This wall must be slowly brushed against. Everyone is of course welcome to enjoy Metal Gear Solid 2 however they see fit. Just so happens I like to enjoy it properly. I do the exact same thing every time. Hide in the same cupboards, tranquilize the same guards. It's like putting on a favourite comfort movie, only I'm in control of all the walking around. A pointless nonsense it may be, but try it for yourself and tell me it doesn't feel amazing. Freeze. Entry number 3 in this list of ridiculous quests we invented for ourselves after earning all the trophies is pickpocketing all the guards in Skyrim so they end up walking around in just their undies. Yes, I know we just did a Skyrim entry, but it's so brilliant for this sort of player-designed nonsense that it's getting another one. Plus, I just really like Skyrim. And underwear. Collecting guards' clothing while they're still wearing said clothing is a bit trickier than hoovering up cheese wheels, however. Step 1, you'll want to grind up your pickpocketing skill to level 100. Step 2, pick a town, sneak around behind the guards and carefully disrobe them, remembering to leave their boots so inventories don't refresh and ruin the fun. Step 3, sit back and admire your handiwork. Isn't it glorious? A defence force consisting entirely of semi-nude guards, seemingly impervious to cold or social embarrassment, strutting around without a care in the world. Their dedication to the cause is enough to bring a tear to your eye. And because you've not stripped them completely bare, they will stay like this indefinitely, meaning you can boot up this save whenever you feel a bit low to remind yourself what you're truly capable of. I feel so inspired.
No.
Ridiculous quest we invented after earning all the trophies number 4 is gardening in the Hitman World of Assassination trilogy. That is gardening, which is the clever wordplay I use to describe when I go and kill all of the guards on the map. And everyone else. The perfect antidote to a hard week. Simply boot up a map, Dartmoor is always my favourite, and work your way through until you're the last one standing. Bonus points for doing it as stealthily and funnily as possible. How much gardener could a wood chip if a wood chip could chip gardeners? Lots. This is Agent 47 in his element. Be it screwdriver, baseball or kitchen knife, you get the feeling this is what he was made for. Once you're finished, remember the job isn't done until you've cleaned up. Another thing I like to do is pile all the bodies I haven't put through the garden shredder in a corner, like one of those out of sight, out of mind clutter cupboards we all have at home. One you can peer into whenever you feel brave enough to confront the ice-cold depths of your own soul. In real life, that means a box of stale Cocoa Pops from 2021, and in Hitman, it means corpses. If you fancy taking this even further, and why not, you can even pass the controller to a friend and ask them to do a house inspection. If they find the bodies, you lose. Don't go in there.
Oh my god!
This is just loads of fun. Honestly, you should try it. I really like this next entry, a tale as old as time, or as old as 2004 when GTA San Andreas came out and I invented the pink taxi of death when I was bored of doing story missions one Sunday afternoon. Regular viewers, you have no doubt heard this story a dozen times already. I am sorry. If you're new here, I'm also sorry. Kill some time, teenage me thought back in the day. Do some leisurely side activities. What I ended up doing was grabbing a taxi, taking it to a pay and spray and turning it pink before starting to pick up fares. Once they hopped in, I'd flip a coin. If it was heads, they'd be taken to their destination really carefully. Driving under the speed limit, stopping at red lights, no talking. You want me as your taxi driver, wouldn't you? Not them. Boring, predictable NPC taxi drivers. Anyway, if the coin came up tails, we'd go somewhere else. I'll have to leave this bit to your imagination because I've been told that what I did next was apparently unsuitable for our younger viewers. All good, I don't need to talk about it again really. And you don't need to take the first word I've said from each VO section of this entry, not including the sofa bits, to see if it makes a small 4-word sentence. No. Our penultimate entry is another fun thing I used to love doing in Metal Gear Solid. Yes, that's right, more Metal Gear, deal with it. And takes place entirely on floor B1 of the nuclear warhead storage building.
That's right. The bit with the toilets.
12-year-old me was simultaneously amazed at the technical wizardry of guards going to the loo in real time and also amused by how hilarious it was. They even do a little shake when they finished, just to make sure.
Of course, Hideo Kojima would pay attention to urine realism, of course.
What amazed me more was how each guard on the floor would take it in turns to answer nature's call, something I discovered through the ingenious experiment of tagging each guard with a wad of C4.
You know in those David Attenborough documentaries where scientists will tag blue whales or something to learn about their migration patterns and stuff? This was just like that.
Except with urinals and plastic explosives. I would hide in the far cubicle, haunting the gents' room like a ghost, waiting for guards to come in, unzip and unload. Then I'd sneak up behind and...
Thanks for visiting.
Then, of course, once all guards have C4 attached and are walking around blissfully unaware, you do the only natural thing.
I'm gonna do it again.
The final ridiculous quest we invented after earning all the trophies isn't really a quest at all. It's just choosing to live and exist solely in your favourite open world.
I've chosen Red Dead Redemption 2 for this entry because cowboys are fun, but it could just as easily have been Kingdom Come Deliverance or Skyrim again.
I don't know what specific thing draws me to the world of Arthur Morgan. Maybe it's the idea of swapping the morning bus journey for a peaceful trot with Ernest Hemingway. Or maybe it's that I get to live the fantasy of wearing a cowboy hat without intimidating everyone in the office with my overt coolness.
Howdy.
Whatever the reason, it's a brilliant game to get lost in. Turn off the HUD, dig out the map if you've got a physical copy, and saddle up for a peaceful ride. You can birdwatch, or do a spot of fishing, or track a rabbit and rustle up your supper. And when the sun sets, you can catch 40 winks under the night sky before doing it all again tomorrow.
And if you're one of those people who actually wants social interaction, you can spend time at camp as well.
Play some cards with the gang, have a little sing-song, be horrible to Micah. There's an activity for everyone, regardless of your preferred play style. The important thing is to let go of what the game actually wants you to do. Why rob a train when you can ride it and take in the sights? There's no risk of a quiet drink at the saloon turning into a chaotic fight if you ignore the missions. Heck, you could even stop the story in its tracks as soon as Micah ends up in jail and pretend everything afterwards simply never happens.
Plus, it means you get to keep killing Micah, which is an excellent stress reliever. Glorious.
So there you go, 7 ridiculous quests we invented after earning all the trophies. If you liked this video, you can 100% complete it by giving it a like. You can earn the platinum for leaving a comment down below, and then finally start the ridiculous quest of keeping up to date with all things PlayStation by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell to see more videos like this every Friday. Thanks for watching, and I'll let the peace-loving Arthur Morgan finish this one off.
Okay, I'll catch you later then.
PlayStation